can call me.
It's Ron. It's Ron.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Atromix the Analyzer, and today we have a war video featuring Sunspot, and accompanying us we're also going to have Namor and Corvus. And normally we don't have the luxury of bringing Corvus in here, but map 6 was not going on at this time. AQ was not in the midst of us, so we are bringing in our top 3 5-stars into this war. So this is a very exciting war. I can't say that I've ever actually had the opportunity to do this, so we're going to go in, and we have Thing here as the first fight, and we are going to be going in with Sunspot. A couple things with this matchup. Thing's also going to be unstoppable with this node that he's on. Every 10 seconds, that is, he's going to get an unstoppable buff on top of the possibility of getting more than 15 rock stacks. So you have to watch out for that, obviously, but here we can see clearly Sunspot is not having any issue at all. Definitely want to stay away from the unstoppable there when it occurs. The best bet with him is, and this is Thing I'm talking about here, is you want to make sure you're pushing him to 15 or higher. That is if you're getting blocked hits in rock stacks, because if he has less than the amount, then it only lowers to a certain amount and it doesn't fall off all the way. So as you can see here, we're doing a decent job at managing that, and the last hit here we just go ahead and throw our SP1 in anyway, because we know it's going to take him out, because Sunspot is an absolute beast with damage, especially damage over time debuff with his incineration ability. So alright, next up we have Killmonger to the right of us here in section 2. We are going to be pairing Namor up with him. He, to me, seems as though he's the best option in this scenario. He just applies that reverberation damage from Killmonger right back to him with his ability. You do need him at Sig 200 for this to work all the time, because he then has a 100% chance to do this. So very, very useful ability for Namor to have. Alright, so right here we are going to drop an SP3. We just barely get that 20% damage boost, and Killmonger's going to go down a decent amount here with just this L3 here. I believe he goes down to about 45%. Yes, he drops down to 45%. We get nicked there a little bit. I didn't expect him to come in right after a special attack, but that damage followed by that SP3 is absolutely insane. So next up we have Iron Man Infinity War, and obviously we're going to go in with none other than the Corvus Glaive himself. He's got caltrops here, as you can see, so Corvus is definitely the best matchup for this. I always try to get the initial parry when going in so he can get that stun, like so. Definitely helps the fight, and I mean, keep it going if you can, you know, another parry, cool. Dash back as many times as you want, because he's practically bleed immune when he has his glaive charges, so always very useful. Get the good intercept in there, and we want to definitely make sure we watch towards the end when he gets close to 10%. But right here we're going to throw the SP2 to avoid that, and auto block is not enabled because it is unblockable when you throw Corvus's SP2, so that takes him out. Very impressive fights here so far. I was really happy with the outcome. So we we extend this. We go into Kingpin, and I'm just like, okay, let's see if we can just do this noted. I'm just curious. You know, limited immunity. Unblockable L1. Redoubled determination, so he gains some power. So I mean, it's doable, it seems. I just can't let him get his SP2 because it's going to be unblockable as well, and it's going to wreak havoc on me. So we go in with Sunspot here, and I'm just like, let's just try this out. You know, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen, we get belly smacked. You know, belly bopped, whatever you want to call it. But Kingpin's going down like a clown right here. He's actually pretty close to half health at this point, so I was glad that I went ahead and proceeded. Almost got his SP2 there, freaked out a little bit, but we're good to go. He becomes unblockable every now and then, so we got to watch out for that. And because he's got overpowered on right now, he is throwing off the incinerate debuffs, so it's kind of a trade-off. But regardless, he's nearly down. This wasn't too powerful of a Kingpin. He just had over 100k health, so doing really good here. Just need to get him to throw that SP1 one more time, and he is down. Ladies and gentlemen, 31 hits with Sunspot on a link node Kingpin. So, again, very impressed with his performance for this being his first war ever. So continuing on, we go into Void. We're like, let's just keep it going, you know. Sunspot's doing really good, so felt led to go ahead and give him this matchup as well. We've got Resistor here, Kinetic Instigator, so there's a few different nodes that are a little tricky about Void, especially with the whole fact of his ability. You definitely want to make sure you get close to 10 hits, but not 10 hits exactly. So right here you can kind of see him managing that. And I know the SP1 is going to do extra hits, so here it applies, but we have 5 hits we need to get, so we go in and get those 5 hits to get off his debuff on us. And before you know it, guys, he's down. Throws an SP2, recoils, and yeah, that's why I don't recommend suicides, by the way. But yeah, he is down. That was all there is to it. Another great performance by Sunspot. So 29 hits, Void down. All right, moving ahead, we have Section 3 here, and I noticed Nick Fury in the middle. I really thought that would have been an awesome matchup. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough energy at the time to get to him, and by the time I did, somebody had already taken him out. So here we are with Section 3 now, and Domino was giving us some problems because this is actually the enhanced special 1 attack unblockable. So not only is it 30% more damage for that SP1, but it's also unblockable. And with that said, it's a finicky fight because if you get an unlucky debuff on you and she decides to throw her L1, you can't block it and you can't evade it. So you're going to eat that, and that's going to do a lot of damage for a Domino at this caliber. So you want to be very watchful at this point. So we go in with Corvus Glaive. He's got 2 Corvus Glaive charges, and I felt pretty comfortable with this. I just needed to make it so that she would not use her SP1 at the time of having an unlucky debuff on me. So right here, that actually happens, but she does not throw her SP1, thankfully. Now she goes ahead and throws it. I get the evade. We're good. Everything's awesome. So going in one more time with a combo and then throwing that SP1, and is it enough? Yes, it is. Domino down. Oh my word. That could have been a really bad fight. I see why my alliance mate was struggling with that, because of having 100% health, dealing with all that. That would have been a mess. SP1 after SP1. So for the final fight, other than the boss fight that we're about to witness after this, we have Dormammu here, and we are going to go in with Sunspot. He's been performing very well, so I figured, why not use him? Dormammu is not Incinerate immune, so we're going to get Incinerate debuffs on him as well. So this is a really good node for Dormammu. Not only is he gaining power, but his SP2 is unblockable, and you're going to see right here, I'm going to be practically forced to dodge it all. So we get that evade, and then we get the second evade there, so we are good. At this point, I got a little bit of degen on me. That is how you evade the SP1. You want to make sure you don't dex it, because it's going to leave you with another degen after you get a hit in on him, because your buff is going to expire, which is how his ability works. But here we are with an SP3 with a 20% damage boost for Sunspot, and boom! Dormammu throws another SP2 unblockable. I wasn't even prepared for that, but as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I gotta react. That could have been really bad. That would have ended the fight. That would have ended the fight, because I'm degenning now at this point, so that would have been the fight right there, but luckily I was able to get the evade. Now Dormammu had about 40% health there, but we go in with the heavy attack, and we go in with another heavy attack, and his health is just melting away at this point. Like, it's actually really impressive to see how much damage is being done at this point through Sunspot. So yeah, after those repeated SP1s and heavy attacks and all the incinerate debuff supplied, he is down. Each L1 he throws, his attack gets even more because of his flare state stacks that he increases. His damage just goes up the roof. It's insane. Now, for the last fight, we've got Korg here, and as much as I wanted to use Sunspot, I told myself, I'm like, you know, I can't risk it for my alliance. Namor is fully health. It would make the most sense, because I'm the most comfortable with Namor, to go in with him. So unfortunately, we don't get a Sunspot matchup here, but we did get a notification there that I got a reply on my last video, so that was cool. Didn't really mess me up entirely, but regardless, it was a little scary. But we go in with Namor here, and we always evade. I always evade his L1, Korg's L1, whether it's unblockable or not, because it's just, one, it's good practice. Two, for me, it just kind of comes naturally. It's pretty easy. I see a lot of people going in and just blocking it, but see right there, it was unblockable, so that would not have worked for them entirely, because the entire thing is unblockable. It's not like an unblockable special attack. It's literally all of it's unblockable, so you definitely have to practice evading that SP1 if you want to get good at fighting Korg. Alright, so we are waiting to get that outrage charge all the way to 30, and then we fire off our SP2. We hit a pretty decent amount of damage, about 60k health, but unfortunately he's got rock shield still enabled, so we gotta rip that off and shatter it. And right here we shatter it, but unfortunately we don't get too much more damage in, because Imperious Rex for Namor just ended. So dealing with another 26% health with Korg, not a big deal, but definitely not the best kill I've had. Obviously the other one with the solo video that I recently put up was a lot better. Really good timing on that, but regardless, we get in there, and right here, as you can see, he's becoming unblockable and unstoppable. You have to watch that you don't dex him all the time like that. Taking in blocked hits helps out quite a bit and prevents that from happening. So we go in with another SP3, and this gets him pretty close to being done. And he gets really pesky towards the end here, from what I can remember. He's at 3% health, right? And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, all right, come on, Korg. I'm like, I throw a heavy attack. I'm like, are you serious? It still didn't get him. And then I throw blocked hits. He becomes unstoppable, unblockable, and then finally goes down. After 100 successful hits, exactly. So, a little pesky at the end. I was just like, come on, dude, go down. And luckily, we don't get hit. We're good. But that is the war, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Sunspot did really, really good for me. That Dormammu fight was probably the toughest fight in this war, and I honestly didn't expect Sunspot to do as well as he did, but he managed to pull through. Dormammu's power game would have been, I feel like, a lot worse to deal with had we not been able to apply as many incinerate debuffs on him. So that's another reason why he was a really good matchup. Obviously, Blade's bleed stacks can't really be added, obviously, because he's bleed immune. So for the sense of suppressing his power gain in this instance, Sunspot did really good on that. So very happy with his performance and everyone else in this war. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. For more to come, please subscribe to the channel. Any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one. Y'all take care.